All right, let's get right into it. Man, I was talking to a guy. He was a good guy, man, but he plays UFL, and I played one game, and I was thinking about maybe going in UFL bad, man. And he's a player. It's like I see it's bad, but I'm trying to make it better. And he reminded me of me at the beginning, bro. Like when you try to have high hopes, and then oh man, hearing him talk about some of the stuff, like if they got rid of the distance shots and then the finesse shots from, and it's like, oh my gosh, these are the same things a year ago that were like, if they just get rid of this, it could be a good game. And it's like, clearly, by this time, you like we know strikers just has no chance. But who am I to tell him? Like, uh, he's got to figure it out for himself. Like, what am I gonna do? Shit on him? Be like, dude, you're wasting your time. Strikers ain't gonna do anything. What you want to happen. We've asked for a year. You know what I mean? Um, but dude, the bottom line is FC is 100 times better than UFL. It's just the truth. eFootball, because the smart assist the same way, but it puts me in a weird spot because a vast majority of my community, I know this because I tried to let people know about FC26, which is a good game, bro. It just is. Overall, it's a good game. Even after playing goals and loving so much about goals, there's some stuff in FC that goals just doesn't have. And I do miss goals and love it. Like, but watching my old the gameplay now that you get back used to a game and you get into the tendencies. But there's so many little like cool, like, say what you want about the animations, but there are a lot of good realistic details in FC that just aren't in other football games. Goals is way behind in that department, but I like the simplicity of like the classic football feel that goals has, I should say, right? Because they're not down and out. They're down. They went offline to work on their beta, but the alpha had a lot of cool stuff. So it'll be interesting. No doubt, I'll be supporting goals. There's no way. Like it would have to be near a miracle for me just to play FC. But the funny thing is I know that my community overall, the one game, like the eFootball guys like eFootball, the UFL guys like UFL. But the one thing in common that most of them all have is that they don't like FC. And it is extremely frustrating. You see my frustration. But you can overturn some of it with skill. Not all of it, right? If you can't move in a game, you simply can't move in a game, right? And then some of it, let's be honest, this is where people can get mad at me, but it's the truth. Some of it is a skill issue, okay? Not all of it. Trust me, I get called out for skill issue when I can't move and then I'm bitching about it, even though millions of people talk about the same thing. So it's hard to differentiate sometimes. Like you could truly be thinking, like, dude, this is the game's problem, and it could be a you problem, right? Um, so I think all those things combined, but there's no way. I was just playing that UFL game, and I'm thinking like, for the sake of the channel, could I sacrifice playing the best game? And I don't think I could, man. And whether you want to believe it or not, because there's always haters. I'm mainly addressing. I know the people who know they know and they're cool, but and I have no reason to lie. It's not like I'm making millions. I'm not making enough to be like, oh, look what I do for a living type of thing. But I make it's better money than people realize. So to see that go away would suck. And it's hard to see where if I played FC, where I'd make nearly the same. But as a small creator, it's interesting because my whole point in starting this channel literally was like, hey, if 5 or 10 people see this, I was playing UFL, climbing the ranks, and I could see that people were struggling with the manual defense because these other games like FC at the time was FC25, right? And it was that terrible AI defense. So people weren't used to manual defense, they were struggling. Or they were playing a system that didn't match how they were playing at all. It's like, man, I could help these guys easily. And they could actually be pretty good players. And so I created the channel around that. Like there's this brand new game and people are there's so much to explore in it. And there's some decent players here, but they just seem to be a little lost. I could help them. My thing was I was going to play the game. If I saw where players could use help, message them after. Some would be mad because I beat them. You know, this is on my way to being one of the top 10 players in the world. Top player in North America by a mile, but top one of the top 10 in the whole world. And and then I would share with a few people. I literally had in my head that when I started making those videos for UFL, which is what I started my channel around, maybe 5, 10 people would watch them. The others would get mad that I beat them and not really think I'm really trying to help or think I'm trolling. But 5 or 10 people could watch, get some help out of them, and I would keep posting. That's all I ever planned to like do this for. Now, if I went that route, would I go the daily content? Yeah, 100%. That's actually why I still do my content like I do, because I'm literally just sharing what's on my mind that could help people out, or as it went on, sharing like my takes on these games, because that's the type of stuff I like to hear from other creators. I have a passion for football and football gaming, and so I like to hear when Inception talks about the state of the game, talks about his opinion on where the game needs to go, talks about the problems in the games. I like hearing that because you learn and you understand more. And then I also like the tactics, the play style approach, and what type of players to go for in these games and everything. I love all that. So I make content for all of it. And it was never once about, never thought I would make even a single penny on this. It was literally going to be, I play against players at the end saying, hey man, I think this video could help you out. And it was going to be like attacking in UFL, defending in UFL, defensive masterclass, shooting masterclass, like stuff like that. Why I like these tactics, whatever. How I climbed, what's my, you know, whatever it is. It was like going to be for this small group of guys or girls if they played, and that's it. And then it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then UFL, as it started going to trash, in my head I'm like, seriously, like, okay, there it goes. The channel's going to be done. But I took it into eFootball and had a pretty decent base in eFootball as well. Right? It wasn't quite UFL, but pretty damn decent. And we got a good little eFootball thing going. Had tournaments and everything. It was good. But Smart Assist comes and it ruins everything. I'll never forget, we were all excited about this presentation. And next thing you know, we're watching this presentation and they were like Smart Assist and everything. I remember when Smart Assist was in events, I didn't even really notice it. And then like you can tell now, like they turned Smart Assist into like this crazy overpowered thing. And so then came FC. I was literally playing, right? And to tell this, I want to go into this. Let me see this real quick. So I might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? As I'm grinding this Evolutions of Glory, which I'm having a blast in, by the way, in FC26. I wanted to give a little backstory, and I just went all the way back, but there is a important time in this channel's history for me and like where I'm going, I should say. And that was when FC25 had their big update after the game had totally crashed and burned. So I left FC25 last year, like December, right in the middle of an FC Pro Cup. It was the biggest joke ever. Obviously, it was online. It wasn't a LAN event, but it was a joke, right? I was traveling at the time, and so I was playing in a hotel, and it was 9-minute halves, and it was 9 minutes of straight torture. The gameplay was awful. The defending was non-existent. It was all AI. It was just, the game was going to crap. Sure enough, I leave, FC, and this was to start, UFL, and it just crashed and burned after that. Well, fast forward into, we're still in FC25, but we're in like whatever, March, April, May, whatever it was, and UFL started messing up, okay? So I was streaming UFL when I was like, this game's dying, guys. And sure enough, the game still to this day in UFL, that was correct too. I mean, it still has the same issues we saw. And I can't remember if it was Simple Go or Valley. I think it was Valley Football. I can't remember exactly, but Somebody in the community said, you got to try FC. This new FC25 patch, they did great. Sure enough, we go play FC, and it was like a brand new game, right? EA Sports realized how bad they had messed up, and they basically had to drop a brand new game mid release. They never had to do that before. And it was great, but then guess what? After that, they messed up again, and they had to make like a couple more patches in there to get to the point where it was worth playing. And even then, they had to go with the whole go with a whole rebranding thing for FC26. We're like, we heard you, we know we have all these issues. We're even addressing the inconsistent gameplay. And then the beta for FC26 was so much better than FC25. It's like, oh my goodness. Everyone realized 25 was trash. After that big update to make it better, it kind of went to crap again. The FC26 beta is widely loved, totally different game, so much better in so many different ways, so much more crisp. That laggy, stuck in the mud type of drag, this the best way to describe it. The last game had it, this one didn't have. And so we're all excited about FC26. And I completely was sold. I was like, EA Sports, they tricked me for the last time ever. Never again. I'll explain why that's relevant to now. And so I built my whole Discord around helping people do exactly what I'm doing here. Right? I came back after a 2-month hiatus playing the Goals Alpha, and I got my team beasted up. I'm climbing right up. Everything's successful, and I knew there's going to be players coming in from eFootball, UFL, players from Division 10, 9, 7, 6, 3, just, everyone with different goals to just reach their potential, whatever that was. So I was going to center my Discord around that. That was going to be like the headquarters, and sure enough, right off the bat, EA Sports screws up FC26, just like they always screw up their games, right? And it came in a perfect timing for Goals to have their alpha and everything out, because I tried UFL and eFootball. Like, I'm always going to give these games chances, and they're always coming up with these patches, but they're always missing the mark. That's just the bottom line. They're always missing the mark, right? And so, for me, at the end of the day, I'm in a weird spot, because I'll never let EA Sports like fool me again. But at the same time, I'm not just giving up on them. Just like I'm not giving up on any games. I always leave a space open. Like, if UFL figures out eFootball, whoever, I'm here. Okay? But the issue is, right? The issue is, after so many chances, you stop believing in them, right? That's just the bottom line. You stop believing in them. So I don't know exactly what to say about any of the other games, or even FC. Goals is a new game, and it's giving me that hope that UFL did, but I see stuff from their devs and have communicated with them. That's the thing. I never communicated with people from Strikers. I saw the game that they made after a terrible beta. They redid the game basically from scratch, and they did a good enough job to where you saw the potential. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. With Goals, I see that potential, but I also have seen more from them and more communication from the devs, where I've talked to literally their animation designer. I've talked to like 3 other people that are willing to give feedback, they might have answered my same question. I'm just a nobody, in their small content creator, and they're answering stuff. Great guys. Not to mention they have legendary content creators / football players on their team. And I think that's important to have too, the actual gamer that sees it from our perspective. So there's a lot there. But you never know. I don't want to, you don't want to give your hopes up and then that game ends up crashing and burning too, because there was a time when I thought UFL, as long as they didn't go backwards, they couldn't fail. Like, how could you go backwards? You got to this point, just recognize, but sure enough, they went backwards every step of the way from there on out. So I don't want to just say Goals is no matter what going to be great, because look where they're at, because you can still go backwards. I've seen it. I wouldn't have believed it until I saw UFL just totally crash and burn, right? So, at the end of the day, with FC, we're just way past. We're way past giving them that benefit of the doubt. Like, guys, it's still in alpha. Guys, it's still in beta, like we do with goals. We're way past that. These guys are way too rich, and Konami is too with eFootball. And that's why with Smart Assist, the fact that they still haven't got it, it's like the fact that they even put that in the game, period, shows how lost they are, and that the fact that they didn't recognize their mistake early on, you all but give up on a game like that. EA Sports hasn't done anything that stupid, but close with this server stuff, unless it's truly unfixable. Like, maybe they know something, maybe their whole net code, whatever that means, like, oh, goals created a unique net code, that's why there's great connection. You can play on 150 ping and goals and have, I don't know what exactly that means. I'm not some tech guy or internet, but maybe EA Sports, the only thing I can think of is why they wouldn't fix it to this point and let this inconsistent gameplay ruin what otherwise would be a pretty good game, a really good game. The only reason I can see them doing that is because it's unfixable, right? Because they would have to like scratch the whole game, maybe, I don't know. But when the game is, when there's good connection, like this game's great connection. You know, I'm playing at like what, 2 a.m. on a Friday. Great connection, right? Like everything I'm doing, I can react, I can move. I could do skill moves if I want. I could do whatever. Like, you can't always do that because your player will move so slow the opponent's just going to strip the ball away from you. Right? I can quickly switch to my defenders. Aim right where I want to aim. The whole nine. If this was the gameplay every game, good night. FC's king and they're good luck. They still have some stupid stuff they got to fix like every game, but nowhere near, right? If this was the connection every game, I could care less win or lose because I know that I can deal with whatever my opponent throws at me. I know that I could deal with it and play against him, and it would be, you know, there's not any, like the finesse shots are strong, but it's not like they're automatic. Like, you can still defend it. The defending's manual enough now. There still is AI help and everything. No, don't get me wrong. Again, it's not perfect. Oh my god, I didn't realize I was through on a breakaway because of the cluster of people. And now I'm down 1-0 after that. Oh, that's a shame. I'll get it back. That's what happens though. But that's the problem is, like, I don't know. I would think for it to be where it's at, it has to be impossible for them to fix. What a goal, Ramirez. Why are you going to force that, bro? You saw me there. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Should have cut with my body in the way. Good idea, but I couldn't make the pass work. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see, but the inconsistent gameplay does get old in FC. However, this has been the most fun stretch I've had. Now, for the sake of the channel, I would need to keep growing and either hope that my community can end up at least liking to watch FC, or get new people that like to watch it, because I will say that overall, it's the least game that my community, out of all the football games that my community likes to watch. You're in. Oh. You're in. Yes, what a goal. What a goal. Unique golazo. Good stuff by Vandeven, too. I like that. Not every center back does that. Good run, Havertz. Oh, I thought he was going to definitely mark Holland. That was a mistake, but... Whoa, wrong player there, eh? Nice goal. Good job to tie it. Terrible defense by me, though. Should have finished up the game anyway already. Get out of here, trying that weak shit on me. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Why didn't he... Oh my gosh. What up, Nico? How are you, buddy? If I play smart, I should have no problem winning this. My opponent's not very good. He's decent. He's just a straight through ball guy, but I got to stop him. It's a great warm-up for this weekend's champs, which I haven't started yet. Oh, my God. Hate little plays like that. Read it, and somehow he went through me. It's just so dumb, guys. Like, the fact that he even kept the ball that whole time is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Just zero skill. He ran through me. I guess his play right. It drives you nuts with the delay. That's what I was talking about earlier. They have to get rid of that. You can't keep having your game where worse opponents are getting results because of delay. That was a great goal. I don't think anybody would deny it. But, like, he never got a chance to win the ball. I played football. If you go back, I win a tackle against my opponent, and he was able to glitch through me. Well, why does that happen? When there's bad gameplay, when the gameplay's inconsistent. That's crazy. And then he ends up scoring. Like, you go back and look at, was that Mindy? No, wait, right side. Yeah, Mindy. Mindy or Ramirez. Tackle the player. He runs through me. And this game has, I was just bragging about how good this connection was overall, and it is.
Really good challenge. The referee spotted the little nick on the way through, so a throw-in coming up. Jeremy Frimpong.
You're in. Read it again. Oh, man. Give me a break, boys. Give me a break on that save. You can't make this up. Another PK game, bro. Against, how does he save that? Holland shot.
And now it is all about the penalty shootout. So lethal in front of goal. Composure is so important under these trying circumstances. That wasn't easy to do. Superb execution. Goalkeeper beaten from the spot.
Yes. Oh, he guessed it right. Come on, we can save it. Damn. I love that little glitchy shot. Nice mix and match here. Damn, dude. Give me a break. As if he would have really saved that. Oh my god, what the fuck was that shot, guys? That was insane. That was a nutty game. Great PKs, though. He was a smart little player. Should have won with Holland like 6 hours ago, but we'll take it. What was my shot before that? Was hilarious, bro. Was that a... He's going to think, like, that little chip to the bottom is definitely a glitchy shot. So what you do... I get it. It's not a glitch. So people, when they say it, are like, see, you're promoting a broken shot. Well, it's only broken for one reason. It's not realistic. But in FC, just like bounce backs would say it is. If you hold chip, okay, and then you don't pick a direction. You do the shot, and then as your player's running up, you can choose left or right. While it's better than regular shots, because say you change your mind mid shot on a regular shot, it doesn't always register. It pisses me off. So you'll go right, and then you'll go to change it, and it won't register. When you do a chip, it registers every time. You can change it left, right, middle, but you never want to chip down the middle. It can catch their foot at the end. You either want to chip lower left, lower right. Well, I guess you could go upper and they could dive under it. But the reason why you go lower is because even when they guess low, which has happened to me on regular shots too, earlier, but I think that was just the delay. Not there's no way the goalie would normally miss those earlier, but this one the goalie will dive over it. So the theory is that they dive too early. So they're diving low, and you're like, okay, they dove low, you went low, that's a save. Nope, it's an added nuance to it. If you chip it and they dive low, right, they have to hesitate, which is what he did the one time, so he knew about it. But the chip adds another element to it where you have to delay your dive a little bit more. So it's not just, usually it's middle, high right, high left, low left. So 5 places you can go. So you have a 1 in 5 chance of scoring as long as you hit it on target. With the chip, it adds in 7 ways because now it's low right, low left, but it's a regular low and a chip low. So just remember that. I believe you could do it high too, because if the player waits and dives low, I think the chip would go over him, but they might raise their arm up and save it. Realistically, if the goalie dives correctly and the ball's going under them, they're going to usually be able to react and make the save still. Not just let the ball go under them. But whatever. FC created it. It's what they do. Squad selector. See if we can't get something going with our regular squad. Rivals time.
Hello and thanks for joining us live here on EA TV. I'm Guy Mowbray and I'm joined by the ever-knowledgeable Stuart Robson.
Balde, Gavi, Hansen, Messi.
Expectations from this.
Salma. He chose Salma. So he's a dancer.
And we're underway with the first half. Here's how football friends line up.
Whoa.
Oliver Kahn is in goal. Alphonso Davies starts with Ferland Mendy in the fullback positions, and they go with just one in attack. This is how the visitors start the game.
Well, they're matching up here, so midfield domination will be key to winning this game. If they can manage that, it will then allow their fullbacks to join their attacking.
Oh my goodness, Bishop.
That has missed by quite a distance. Gabby.
absolutely right there.
Ferland Mendy. There could be something building for football friends here.
Dude, I went far post, I felt.
Swansea kept that out.
Yeah, had no
Felt like I
reason to
did.
do that, did he? Wonderful stop.
This could be
And then I felt like I passed it there too. Dude, yeah. What are you going to do with that, by the way? What the fuck, did he just run through me? What in the hell do you even call that?
Mendy.
You're in.
Player that many have been talking about. Will we be talking about him for the right reasons today, then?
Well, all I'm hearing at the moment, this is a player that is really evolving his game, both with and without the ball, and I'm sure that will be demonstrated today.
A really good interception to take the ball. Could be setting something now.
That's how you do it, baby.
That changes things. A goal for 1-0. Gabby. On to Messi. Gets past.
I had to push this back. I could see what type of player he is already. We'll respect it. We'll respect it. I can't have that Selma running through me.
Yeah, really smart piece of goalkeeping there, as you said. So agile.
Short corner taken here. Mateus. Football friends recovering possession well. Football friends in a good position here.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Disappointment there.
She whiffed.
Chance gone begging.
Rafinha. The ball won back. This is looking like a decent move from football friends. Opportunity here.
Golazo. Golazo. No way. I was gonna be pissed. I was like, dude, I won that ball fair and square.
Davis had to work hard to keep that in. Whistle goes, free kick given.
No, I canceled it. Oh my god, I canceled it.
A chance to get in behind here.
So you're gonna go rat on me, eh? So that's what these guys do if they can't start winning.
Dante. Ferland Mendy. Some useful space wide here for football friends. This looks too easy. It looks far too easy.
They go rat-a-tat-a-tat-a. Too easy. Too easy to read, buddy.
Really good defending.
Offsides, damn it. Nope, yep.
And the flag has gone up.
Well, he just needs to play that a bit sooner. The pass was definitely on.
Come on, 4-0 right now.
That's a good pass. And the attack collapses. Opportunity now. And it's taken away.
Should have been 4-0. Damn it! I should have just shot it. I should have cut it in and shot it with Mari Jose. Little rat bastard. Give me what you got, boy. Give me what you got. Come on. 4-0 and you quit. 4-0 and you quit, pussy. We're going war mode on you. We're going war mode. Come on.
Here we go then. The second half underway with a big gap between them. Well read to gain possession.
Read it really well.
Havertz. Ariuelo. On to Messi. What a good ball. That could be in. Well, what a place to lose the ball just when the chance was on. They could get caught out on the break here. And on they go. And stopped in their tracks with a change in possession. That wasn't an easy one to keep in play. Lovely ball. This could lead to something.
There's no way. There ain't no way you save that, bro. That's like an auto save, I guess, because, bro, I can't place it any better than that near post.
They decide against playing it in. Setting up the chance.
Should have went low.
Terrific save. And it's a short corner. That's a good ball. Dealt with that superbly. They take it short. Making decent progress here. Caroline Graham Hansen.
Van de Ven! Vandy does his work. That's the one reason I don't like having a defender up there. But I chose Van de Ven because even though he doesn't have any aerial like play styles, because play styles are everything, he still does good in the air, and not only in the air, but he finishes them decent. Torrejon was good at that too. Not every center back is, trust me. They'll miss everything. This dude don't even know how to mark these or what to do here. Oh, he did okay there, but that was more me messing up.
Rafinha now. Messi. Read the pass well and cuts it out. Teeing up the chance now. On to
You got one. Good job. I had him on it too.
But there is still fight left in them. Dante. Nicely weighted crossfield ball. Football friends showing good width here. Different angle of attack. Well, it did look promising, but threat averted.
They won the ball at just the right time.
Offsides.
And here we go. Time for the transition.
See how I stopped once I saw, like, I was way past my backs. I didn't just keep running with him. I pulled up, immediately knowing he'd be out of the play. Oh, I got lucky there. He wants to park the bus and have me come in so he can counter me. I'm just not going to let him do it. As I force one.
Reading of the game to win the ball. Now, this has to be. And it's
But that's what he wants. What in the... Dude, yeah. This is where you just start passing the ball back. Like this. Fuck you and your lucky bullshit goals. Eat this. Welcome to FC, you little bitch. This is where you do this against these lucky pricks. Look at the goals they fucking score. Yeah, eat this. Oh, it's realistic. Yep, this is realistic. I agree.
leading the game.
Yeah, they're in complete control here.
This is all they need to do from here as the minutes tick by. Options available in the middle. Now, what can they do from here? Goes, and on. The tackle needs a corner.
Fucking bullshit. Every time at the end of the game, they do this shit. So I'll do it right back. No problem. We're good, brother. We are good. I'll get you right back. Don't worry. Zero skill. You're getting whooped all game, and then it's partially not his fault. I get it. Although you play how you play, you know.
Dante. Now Davis. Kirosh. Could be setting something now. Schroeder. Open goal. It's in. And it was always going to go in. With nobody in the way.
See if you can actually earn one real goal.
Turnaround in possession. Excellent positioning.
Good read. Good defensive read.
Brilliant defending and such an important ball.
I'm glad I didn't do Pareo because she seems like she'll just give you, like, you don't even use skill. You just run into people unless he just does that with every one of his number 9s. I don't know, he might.
Friends unable to retain possession.
Game was fun until those two. Let's go look, dude, and see. I want to make sure I'm not... Because this player, he did show those signs of rattiness. Remember that he tried to hit with that glitch through ball in the first half? Constantly forcing through balls. Might just be a shit player, but let me look at these. Let's look how he got his goals. We'll go through this whole replay, actually. We'll watch each one. So here's my goal from what it shows. I wish it went back further, actually. Hansen. Low cross to Del Piero. Del Piero to Dante, which Dante shouldn't be way up there. That was an accidental triggered run by me. Dante to Havertz. Havertz to goal. Okay? That's mine. My number 2.
This is looking like a decent move from Football Friends.
Hansen to Ramirez. I threw him off here. He didn't expect this run. Ramirez. Low driven cross to Del Piero, who I love his first touch. The way he plays, I love it all. Boom. Right around to Rojo. Sends a cross over to Havertz. And the 90 volleys pay off. Here's it fast. Boom. What a touch. Boom. Boom. Brilliant stuff. 2-0. And here's 3-0. Del Piero. Beautiful ball to Havertz. Gets the drop on... Who is that? Mappaleon or whatever, the center back from Barcelona. So boom. Del Piero to Havertz. Havertz is in. 3-0. Here's 4. Or no, here's a save from his keeper. How did he save this, by the way? What the? I should have finessed it, though. I should have finessed it. Finesse it. What am I doing? Should have finessed it, but should have been a goal. And then another one, bro. What the how? Another one. I finessed that one, though.
Oh, what a stop. Dealt with that superbly.
Oh, my gosh. So I finessed that one. So that should have been 5-0 right there. Would have been game. Then another corner after I should have already scored 2.
It's become a question of just how many they'll get.
Fake like I'm going out. He steals. Oh, no, I kept it. Beautiful left stick. Look at that left stick. Look at that left stick. Boom! Woo! Although I feel like his defender... Oh, that was messy. I was going to say, otherwise, his defender should have maybe got that, but it's messy. Thanks, Maringo. Appreciate you, buddy. And then, boom. And Van de Ven, my only defender I have up on attacks for this reason. One, when he gets the ball, he can actually score. Torrejon, when she was in, did it as well. So there's 4-0. So now let's look at his first deal. Let's see if I was unfair or not. 67-77. So I felt like this dude was just getting stomped on. And then resorted to some ratty stuff. But let's see how it scores. Again, this isn't his fault. The defense tends to pin in. Like, the more aggressive you are, I get it. Because my line, by the way, was it 91, and I moved it to 70. This is a 70 line. 70 defensive line. It was how he got this ball, and of course it doesn't show it. So if you remember, I had the ball. I won it on, like, the right. But you see the difference? You see how there's no, like, build-up? Even how he won the ball was bullshit, but even in this, you see how he did the fidget spinner? He did the fidget spinner. No player does that. Watch. He did the circle. Watch. What the fuck was that? Everything's like a circle, half circle, and it's like there was no give and go, up backs, or like, you know what I'm saying, bro. It's like they didn't show you won the ball cheaply, but look, it's two players that dribble in a circle, circle. He did a double, triple circle there, and then a half circle shot. It's like, bro. But that's how he plays. He might not know any better. Now let's look at his second one. This one, he won the ball. This was even more cheaper than shit. Because look, I won the ball. So watch this. I won the ball, and then not only that, watch. Felt like I should have blocked that there. Where was he at? Oh my God. It's like they did me, and I guessed right where he was going. Because, you know, he could have kept going at my Dante, and I guessed right what he was doing. And it does this little stutter. And then whatever that was to make my player just kind of, I don't know what that was. But now I'm stuck. Look at Van de Ven. Why the fuck is Van de Ven next to my goalie? Look at Van de Ven. Holding that striker on line. Like, dude, it's just goofy mess. What the fuck? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like the way he won the ball back there, and then when I read the play, it's like, why did it do that animation? Then my player at the top of the box stopping like this right here is goofy. Watch this. This is crazy. Watch my player at the top of the box. Look. Dude, that's an interception, but watch what he does. Watch this. That's Del Piero. Watch. Instead of running forward and just taking the ball, watch what he does. This screwed me right here because I'm switching to Del Piero as we speak to intercept this, but look what he does here. Watch. What the fuck was that? That's totally screwed me because he took himself out of the play. So right now I'm in the process of switching to him, and look, he just totally fucks me for no reason. I don't get what that was. So watch in fast motion. Boom, watch. As I'm switching to him, so now you see where I take over Del Piero. He's not even, he was coming to intercept, an easy interception. Look where he was. Look. That's an easy interception. Look where he's at and where the ball's at. I switched to him. Look. You know what probably happened? I bet you it registered me switching like one of my previous movements. Because look. Instead of going to take the ball away, since I was running. Let me see. No, because I was coming downwards. So that movement don't even match. Because I switched to Del Piero, and then look what it does. Boom. Now look where I'm when he gets the ball here. An easy interception. Now watch what he does. When I switch to him, he's all out of whack. Now watch. Look. Look it. You see? He was here, and then watch where he goes. So, like, when people are watching, they don't see those little things. Like this. Nobody in their right mind is going to say that's not an interception. Look where the ball's at. Look at Del Piero. He's going to run and take that ball with his eyes closed, bro. And then I should have just let the AI do it, is what I should have done. He was going right for it. And then this little glitchy shit. So it just sucks. And then my fifth goal is right here. All right, ready? Got the ball in the midfield. That's not Marty Jose. Oh, I subbed in. Who did I sub in? Gio. This is my sub. So Gio to Hamsik. Why did he pull his center back? Look at it. Terrible decision, bro. Left Schneider wide open. Snyder to McTominay. McTominay finishes. So that's how simple it was, boys. So victory there. Look at the match facts. Probably 6 to... Yeah. So 4.5 to 1.5, 10 to 5. 166, like you can read. I mean, it was just a This a massacre. But those little goofy things that happen, it's like, I don't know. But overall, there's a lot of good stuff too. Like that touch from Del Piero, he always has great touches. But that first touch to set up that volley, some of the great runs. I'd say the biggest key to being successful, having came back 2 months away, playing goals a much more simplified game. The biggest thing to being successful, and this is me like always looking to learn and get better. Like Big Fads is someone that I follow big time. I actually want to show you one of his videos. I've broken these down before. I used one to tie it to goals because it was a great video. It was like I was playing the goals alpha. Like this will really help people here. But one of the biggest things that keeps me winning a vast majority of the time, that puts me at a level where a lot of these players that I'm playing against, I could tell like they're Division 4, 5, 6, and they struggle and like they're letting these bad habits take over, and they're not like really trying to play football. And you have to be able to deal with the bad habit stuff. You have to be able to know what players use, especially players taking advantage of like the crappy connection, like the inconsistent gameplay. You have to understand how to deal with each of those. That's why I go with a high aggressive line so players can't just switch to a player lock player, zigzag a million times, and play a through ball. I have that high line to where they don't have much room to work when they player lock. And usually I can get them on timing. Now sometimes they'll get me, and I can recognize when they're pretty quick. Salma kept running through my players, not around them, through them. So I moved my line back, and I think it was a smart decision. So like reading little stuff and learning how to deal with stuff like that. But for the most part, to be successful, you're just keeping the ball, passing, moving, looking for those open passes, knowing what you're doing with your setup, which mine's a 4-4-1-1. And the whole goal of 4-4-1-1 with two box-to-box midfielders making those deep runs in, the whole goal is to overload your opponent's defense. You have your striker and cam with two box-to-boxes running on either side of your striker and cam. Then you have an inside forward cutting in on the right, and on the left with Madi Jose, wide playmaker cutting in. Same as inside forward, just a little bit deeper. It would be the same if I played my number 10 as a shadow striker, like a deep, running from deep striker, as a playmaker, which would be like a true number 10. Right? So you create these overloads with, what is that, 2, 4, 6 players. I used to have my wingbacks on wingback support, so it was 8 players that I would have up there. That one goal that I scored where I passed it to Havertz and Dante, that was a mistaken run, by the way. I triggered Dante by accident. But that overload helped a ton because you see how well I'm able to keep the ball and move it in the attack. I'm not sitting back. I don't have a bunch of players. I'm moving up. I'm passing with intent. I'm using the width to pull my opponent's defense out wide. And then I'm exploiting those gaps. I'm either switching to my striker, having him player lock and just make that front shoulder run instead of back shoulder of the defender, which, by the way, I think that's all you should be able to do with player lock. I think player lock, you're able to switch to him, and then I say you have like 2 seconds. 1, 2, and it dies off. And then there's a cooldown or whatever, but you shouldn't be able to switch to a player and make these unrealistic cut. Because the defense can't really mark it, or if they do, you have to switch to them and you're running around chasing one player. It just looks goofy while the other players are just jogging down the pitch. It should be a player lock, switch to the player, quick little change in direction, then the AI should take over and they get what you want. Okay, he wants to run towards the ball. Okay, he wants to make a diagonal away towards the opposite corner. Okay, he wants to make a diagonal to this corner. Like, that's all it should be, is a quick adjustment, then you're off player lock. That's my humble opinion. I think that would make a lot bigger skill gap. And if you're a good player, you're going to constantly be player lock, adjust, player lock, adjust, player lock, and switching and getting every player moving in the right direction. Then the AI takes over, and continues to run towards the ball, away from the ball, whatever. I saw an example in the trailer for FC26. There was going to be a hard check away from the ball, and then boom, they would hard check and come 2. to shake off the defender, and I haven't seen that even once in the game. I don't know if they scratched it, if it didn't work, or what. But it was a pretty impressive addition, and they just don't have it where the attacker's running full speed away, boom, they do a check, and then come to the ball, or coming full speed towards the ball, then check and make a run diagonal. Like essentially just shaking the defenders like you do in real life. That's all you should be able to do with player lock. Anyways, we move on there, closer and closer to this beast. And then Dante moves on. Still some more games though. With Madi, we have 1, 2, 4. And with Dante, we have 2. More objectives done. What more ones do we have? More rewards here as well. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more levels, 6,000 to go with how many days? Like 4 days left to get 6,000 SP. And this is the man that we would be going for. Not to say De Rossi isn't a beast with Relentless and Ping Pass Plus, but dude, I'd much rather have Rudy Voller. Or 10 times 85 plus might not be bad either. I don't know. Chip Shot Plus is whack, but Low Driven's good, and he does have regular finesse. It's about what my Mighty Jose is. Interesting. 95 reactions, huge. I don't know. 5-star weak foot. I don't know. It would be a hard deal to beat out Havertz, but maybe. Usually his AI is pretty sick. But we've got every other player. I didn't think that was going to happen. And this Bischoff's a great player. So I'm super pumped about that. I forgot about this. The Cosmic Drift is kind of dope, boy. Give it to Del Piero. Give it to Bischoff. Got the lightning on Havertz, the fire on Hansen. You got to be a special player. Vandy could use it. That would be kind of sick. I'm loving Del Piero, though. Vandy's spectacular, so we're going Vandy with it. To think it was Dante and Torrejon. Van de Ven was on the bench. Then Van de Ven got beasted up, and it was Van de Ven and Romagnoli. Then Dante got another Evo. Now it's Van de Ven and Dante again. It's crazy. These Evos keep you heart of your team, but it always switches. It's pretty cool. World Tour gives better chemistry. Who needs it? Let me look at my team real quick. Vandy. What do you get 2 of on this? I forgot. Is it league? 2 from your league. Premier League. Oh, Vandy. I give it to Vandy. Oh, I'm going to lose my Lightning, bro. I should have done it first. I'm going to lose that. I'm an idiot. But it is what it is, bro. It's worth it for him to get the full upgrade. I'm an idiot. Should have done it first. Well, it was cool to see him have it for 1 second, but I got to do this World Tour one. At least this mess up was cosmetic only. They should have the lightning shine through instead of override it, but it won't. If I'm remembering this correctly, this should give him 2 Premier League. Oh, he'll keep it? Let's see if he'll keep it. That's cool if they did it like that. Yep, it gave him 3 now. World Tour players get yep, he gets to keep the cosmic and the pumpkin in the corner, bro. What do you know about that? Now look, it gave him, oh, I thought it only gave you 2 from the league. It gives you 3. So now I just need... She would be good if I had Javi on the left instead of Mari Jose. Damn, I wouldn't have... I would have used that on her instead if I knew I had Bischoff coming. Anyway, that's cool. So I got Vandy to full on boost now, which is cool. $87.98. Jumping 98, 90, 96, stand tackle 90. Oh, he's a beast. He's on his way to becoming, and Romagnoli's. Yeah, I'm loving the team right now. Maringo I did, but Smart Assist kind of ruined it for me, brother. Smart Assist kind of ruined it for me. I don't like in FC, I don't like how the bad connection, the inconsistent servers can lead to like shitty players using shortcuts, spamming crosses since the defense is delayed, running through you, trying to use tackle and bounce backs. But in eFootball, it's smart assist. Lower level players use it to like as a crutch, and I can't stand that. I have a beast team. I have a really solid pay to win team over there, but as much as I respect the movement and the type of football, like the weight of the passes and the realism in it, I can't get behind a game that has that smart assist bullshit. So I'm really happy with the squad right now, guys. I'm really happy with the team. I'm really happy with the football that's being played. So the one thing about FC this year that's better than the previous years with the meta OP tactics, right? We all know that every year some player, whether it's a pro or a top content creator that's also a top player, discovers the broken system to use. And lately, Anders Vergang's really been at the cutting edge of that, right? He discovered the power in the 4-2-1-3 after it was out for a few years, a newer formation, but out for a few years to no fanfare, little fanfare, and then boom, he makes it a staple that every pro started using, every competitive player, and it took over. Before that, remember, we had the 4-3-2-1. We had the 5-4-1 at one time when it was all AI defending. And you would just essentially get rewarded for controlling your defensive mids. That's it. There's still the players that try to do that even after the patch. And many times with bad connection, they just hope a player kind of runs into their defender. There's a lot of goofy stuff like that. But the one thing about this year that I'll say is that FC is in a good place as far as, yes, they still have that broken setup instead of some players like 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, some like 4-1-2-1-2 wide, some like 4-4-2, some like 4-5-1, some like the 4-3-1-2. So you'll never get that, right? If and when we ever get to that point in FC, it will be beautiful because that will mean that all the nonsense, such as you got to have players with this accelerate type, or this year these play styles are broken, and this year this player like Claudia is broken. Previously, it would be Van Dyke. If you have Van Dyke, you're not going to get beat, defensively because his AI was ridiculous. And they got to get rid of that and focus more on football. But at least in this 4-4-1-1, you can play beautiful football. And the skill gap comes in your ability to create chances out of this system. Whereas the 4-2-1-3, it was a through ball spamming system. The 4-3-2-1, it was a through ball spamming system. They both had in common that you would play the through balls into the seams, usually your outside player, sometimes your striker, and then you would run through on goal. Now, you see this year, you still can play that through ball, whether it's player locked into the striker or just manually trigger the run and play it through, but you can also defend this much better now. And because of that, the 4-3-2-1 and the 4-2-1-3 aren't as reliable. Skilled players are going to read that through ball and they're going to stop it more often than not. Sometimes you get through, you get lucky, you can run through a defender. Sometimes they're delayed, and there's a lot of outside factors. But for the most part, to be successful, you're going to want to use the 4-4-1-1, not the 4-5-1 like people were using for a while, or the 4-1-4-1 like I was using, where I like the triangles, I like the build up, but they're just not is attacking oriented. There's not as much of an overload. In this 4-4-1-1 with two box to box players, which you can see here, same tactics everybody's using. Where I veer from the meta is one, I use a high line, extreme, I go to 91 because I want my line all the way up. I want pressure on the opponent, and when they force those through balls, I don't want to give them time where they can zigzag and run away from my defender. I want them to have to play it right away so that I can chase him down, overrun him with my center back and get the ball. Is it dangerous? Yes. Last game, for instance, I had to switch it to a 70 because I could see what my opponent was going for those quick through balls, like real quick. And the players that tend to struggle are the ones that like to switch to their attackers, like player lock wise, have them run till they can perfectly time a through ball, right? So that high line helps, but for like certain games, you want to bring it down. However, for the most part, I go 91 extreme, put pressure on my opponent right when they win the ball. I'm trying to win it back. And then everything else, I'm pretty standard with player roles. I will say the wingbacks, I love wingback and support, but they'll go to where, like you see here, my Ramirez and Bischoff are on wingback and support. And the problem is that such an important pass from the wing back to the wing mid, when they're out of that line more towards the center to support, it will help in the offense because you essentially have 8 players up. But defensively, right, when you win the ball and then try to play to your wing backs, if they're pushed in a bit, they're not going to have that winger to play to, and that's a great outlet pass, especially when my opponents are pressing me like I press them. Going from Davies to Jose Marie or Mindy to Hansen is extremely important, and being in this line helps out a lot, right? Fullback balance actually helps these players open up more than if I use fullback defense. They'd be a little too close to my center backs, and that throws it off just like wingback support. So that's why I do that. Some players play playmaker here. I like those deep runs in, especially with a player like Del Piero. Always in the right place at the right time. Makes those deep runs. He's there for low crosses. He's still a good setup man when I need him. So Shadow Striker works perfect. And then here, if Jose Marie had the inside forward plus, she doesn't have plus or plus plus, obviously. Would I probably play that? Yes. But having now played one wide playmaker attack, I like it because where you see Hansen will be up near Havertz cutting in, right? Jose will stop and drop a little further back to where she can still make those darting runs in, but she can get it cut in and finesse. And it leaves room for Ramirez or Bischoff, in this case Ramirez, to run through more into the attack, right? Now, technically speaking, I'd like that to be Bischoff, but unless Bischoff has 5-star weak foot, which you might see me change this right now, he does have 5-star weak foot, and he does have finesse shots. So this change is huge, and I'll tell you why. I'm glad you guys are able to see this. Both center mids are ball winning box to box. Couldn't talk for a second. And so this switch here gives my better shooting box to box player the chance to get up and get more into the attack because Jose Marie's dropped off a little bit, right? So when you click in, you see that Bischoff will get right in there where he can make those runs from deep, similar to Hansen's making as an inside forward. Jose Marie will be there, just a little drop further back, so they're not running into each other. Like, Ramirez is more my defensive. He can still shoot to an extent. He'll still make those darting runs, but typically he'll stop a little bit early because he'll see Hansen making that run, whereas Bischoff will be able to run straight through because Jose Marie stops a bit earlier. So that's why I made that switch with these two, because Bischoff has a good finesse shot. He's left-footed, but he can cut in with his right because he has 5-star weak foot. If he didn't, I'd probably keep him over here and just have Ramirez making those deeper runs because he's still, it's not like he's terrible at shooting, just not as good as Bischoff. And he has a regular chip shot, not a finesse shot or low driven. So that's where I differ a bit, is this wide playmaker here, and that's it in player roles. Everything else, besides the high line as well, those two things, everything else I go about the same as everybody using the 4-4-1-1. The unique part, though, comes in the fact that now that you have the overload, you have to come up with ways to break your opponent down still. Going through your striker, your cam, either CMs, your wing. I score a lot with each of them. Sometimes I'm playing the ball through the middle, then springing in my wingers to then cut in for a finesse shot. A lot of times, though, I'm pulling my opponent out wide, then cutting it back into the center here to play give and goes, up, back, and throughs, right, until I can get one of these 4 players in, or play out wide here, play in, look like I'm trying to create a shot for these four, drag in the defense, including the opposite side wingback, then play Hansen in and score. Same vice versa. Then play Marie Jose in to create a chance, right? You still have your creativity with this meta system. Whereas previously, like I said, they were through ball simulators, through balls into the seams. That's the power. This year, the power is in the overload, and then it's up to you to create the chances. Some players only will still try to spam through balls even out of the 4-4-1-1. Other players will only go for that same hockey attack where they run their winger all the way to the end line, drop it back into this player's feet, then to this player's feet, turn and shoot, right? Every single time. But again, skilled defenders are going to mark that out. You're going to have a good mix-up. And fortunately, in the 4-4-1-1, you can play a good mix of football. Not to mention that hockey or half-court basketball type of approach where you run in line, cut it back, try to get it back here, then into your striker who's got the defense pinned in so you can take a touch and shoot. Those attackers with backs pushed against defenders, it's not realistic attacking. Usually those types of players will play the ball in, try to take a touch and shoot, or if they can't, they'll get the ball to feet and dribble in circles like you saw my opponent that last game, dribble in a couple circles till they can get an open shot. It's much better when you're in the build-up and you're playing those quick boom, 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 or, Davies to Bischoff to Del Piero, springs in Jose Marie, or Marie Jose, said it backwards, who can cut in and shoot, right? The tiki-taka or passing pattern, just quick transition football on the move, on the run, is way more realistic, way more satisfying. So the beauty of the 4-4-1-1, again, is that, yes, this is the most powerful system, just like any year you're going to want to play as if you want to be most successful, but there's tons of options in the way that you break down your opponent and score goals. That's a unique part, and that's what I love in what makes FC26 more enjoyable than the previous several years where you were just going for the same through ball every time. Win the ball defensively, usually with your AI, which they fixed that to an extent this year, and then spam through ball. Win defensively with your AI, right? You're controlling your defensive mids. As soon as your defender wins it, you play to one of your defensive mids you're controlling. Boom, spam a through ball, right? That's just not fun at all. And there's still some nonsense this year, without a doubt, like every year. By no means am I saying that EA Sports deserves a cookie for this year's game. Maybe if it kept going in the route that it was going with, beta and initially before they started patching things that actually made the game worse. But with where the game is now, it's just in a pretty good spot. Not a good spot, definitely not a great spot, but in a pretty good spot. The inconsistencies with the servers suck. It does allow players that aren't as skilled to get results they don't deserve. But overall, I'll take this over many of the past iterations we've had in the last several years. So that's where I'm at with it. I just want to kind of break that down. That's where a lot of success is coming, is that for me, is that I love playing actual football, and at least this system caters, if you wanted to playing actual football. You can still decide to be a rat out of this system or any system you play, but you're going to have more success, in my opinion, when you're playing real football and mixing up your attacks, and when you're able to defend your opponent where you pressure them the right way, time your tackles right, and make the right decisions manually. If you try to rely on your AI like people have the past several years, you're not going to be as successful. So those are good things. Those are good things that EA Sports has done. And that's the good thing about this broken system compared to the other, meta OP tactics that you had to use to be successful. If you enjoyed this, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you could please join my Discord, I'd love you to be part of that community 24/7. We're always talking football, football gaming, everything. The link is in my YouTube bio. If you have problems with it, leave me a comment under any video. I'll check it out, and I'll be able to give you the link properly. It should work, but sometimes if there's issues, just message me. There's also other ways, memberships. We have merch. ways you can support the channel while getting perks. And I'm also on X and TikTok. The key to getting followers on those is that eventually I can actually go live, and the more places I can push my videos and subscribe, or sorry, stream and whatnot, um, the more people that I can get that kind of are like-minded, that want to play in tournaments where it's pure football and not all the BS we have to deal with, that have a passion for playing football games the right way, for playing the beautiful game. Like, there's a lot of us out there, but I'm not some big content creator. Like, I know that when I get frustrated, and like the reason why I take it so personal when there's rats ruining the game, I know that many of you, if not all of you, feel the same way. There's always going to be the trolls and different um but it's like not everybody's going to know who I am. I'm super small in the grand scheme of things, but there's a lot of players out there looking for the type of content, looking for the type of discussions, and to learn and play football similar to how we all like to play. So your help with following those channels will help me eventually be able to spread my content and get more people in our community. So I appreciate you guys so much. Just wanted to explain that and say thank you for everything you guys do, all your support. I'll see you on the next one. Stay warm. If you're in a lot of parts of the world, we're going through a crazy, especially anywhere near the U.S. right now, we're going through a crazy cold spell, snowy, ice, the whole nine. So stay safe, stay warm. I'll catch you guys soon. Peace out. Sorry, Maringo, I just read this in case you're still on. I played console, not mobile, when I was playing console on eFootball. But now it's console FC. Eventually, I'll add goals in the mix too. And you never know. I don't count out any games. I truly hope for the best with every football game. It's only good for football gaming, whether I play them or not. I'll always leave other games open. For eFootball, the deal breaker right now is Smart Assist. For UFL, the deal breaker right now is their kind of glitchy nonsense that players can use. Abusers or exploiters, whatever you want to call them. So those are the deal breakers there. Yes, it sucks that people can exploit the bad connection, the server issues in FC, but for the most part, you can deal with that and even figure out ways to minimize it and still beat those players, which I've done better with lately, I'll say. So thanks again. See you soon. Peace out.